Number five, Islam also talks about the protection of mal, your wealth. How? By giving you protection of property. Yani, excuse me, in jurisdiction in Islamic fiqh, we talk about protection of property. How is the protection of property? For example, a person owes a land and he has annexed the other land or adjoining land. This is known as Ard al Ghasib. Ard al Ghasib. Ghasib means stolen land. Ard means a land. So Ghasib means a person who has stolen the land. So the Ard al Ghasib, if a person, even if he makes a house in that, and he prays in that land, prays his salawat, does the ibadah. There are fuqaha from the Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah who say that his salah is not accepted. Like the Hanbali fiqh, the Madhahib al Hanbaliya, the Madhab al Hanbali, they say his salah is not accepted. Okay, why? Because that's an ardul ghasib, that's a stolen land. So his salah is not accepted even here. So imagine a person is praying in his house since 40 years, 50 years, and that land happens to be a land which is stolen, and his salah is not accepted. What does it make us understand? It makes us understand that Islam encourages the protection of lands as well as the promotion of economic justice. Yani, what does economic justice means? You see the world when we divide, when we see we have the rich and the poor. Capitalism, the law of capitalism, talks about having fluid economics, like the freedom of economics. Okay, the freedom of buying and selling without the government or the governance interfering any of your wealth. So if I have the right to sell this and whatever price I take, that's capitalism. Eh? So I can sell this, pen. Okay, I can sell this for $100, $200, or $5, or for free. That is upon me, and the wealth which I'll get is solely for me. Okay. Um, Now communism is such that the price is fixed. Okay, and I'm only allowed, if I make $100 out of it, the 50 goes to me, 50 goes to the government. Why? The government says that though you own this, okay, though you own this and you bought, but the wealth you should share with each and every person. Now that's a dhulm, an oppression for the person who's a rich person, right? And the capitalism is an oppression for the poor. Why? Because there is no system of charity in a capitalistic society. So the rich gets rich and the poor gets poor. For example, the tea states, the tea state laborers are kept poor because if they are given wealth, if they are paid good by the jagirdars and the tea state owners, they will not be able to. They will become rich. They will become rich, and those richness will lead the children to get educated, and those education will make them come out from the clutches of the Jagirdar system. So they do not want that. So the capitalism, they keep the labor force in a system which in result oppresses the poor, and in result the communism movement came up. In Islam, we have the freedom of economics, meaning the freedom of economics and finance. We talk about Islam. In Islam, we say that when the person, Allah Azza wa Jal, has made somebody rich, somebody a poor, the rich are commanded by Allah to help the poor in charity. So the poor, though they are poor, are helped by who? By the people who are rich in the society. And this is an order by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is zakah. As well as zakatul fitr we have on Yawm al-Eid, which we give. As well as sadaqat we are encouraged to give. All of these are encouraged. Or as in slavery, somebody is in slavery. Islam is the only religion, in fact, like in Christianity, Judeo-Christian tradition, which when you read, it does talk about slavery, but nowhere does it talk about that it is a great, you have great reward and a righteous act and a great reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your Lord and Creator, that when you free a slave. But Islam is the only religion, and is the only faith which talks about freeing slaves, and that is one of the most righteous deeds. One of the most righteous deeds. In fact, Rasulullah, the person who frees the slave is freeing himself and his family from Jahannam. And you do that for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will free you from the clutches and from the fire of Jahannam, you and your family. So this is something, the message of Islam is very, very human-centered, as I've told you. So it talks about protection of wealth, protection of property, protection of economic justice. So poor, even if the person is poor, he is protected. And as well as it also talks about protection of property of the orphans, and also talks about not to eat the property of each other and wealth of each other with injustice. Allah says, "Wala ta'kulu amwalakum baynakum bil batil." Wala ta'kulu, and do not eat amwalakum baynakum, your wealth amongst you, bil batil, with injustice, and injustice of making cases and false cases and follows right in the court of law, and then you eat that property and you take benefit from that property, and from that you are not allowed to do that. These are known as muamalat. Muamalat means that the actions which is has to do with you and another person. So these things are very dangerous, and this will be answerable on Yawm al Qiyamah.